So let's talk about the Global Oneness Day.
Global Oneness Day?
Yes.
Yeah, Global Oneness Day. Well, so I was referencing that meeting in May of 2010. It was May 20th, 2010. And our whole global council had flown in to the United Nations. We were received by Ambassador Choudhry. We had our 52,000 signatures. We created this big, beautiful presentation for the ambassador with all of the signatures and pie charts and all of it. It was quite beautiful. And we gave it to Ambassador Choudhry, and we said, we're here to invite the United Nations to create a Global Oneness Day. And Ambassador Choudhry received the material, and he said, this is very important. Oneness is in a sense the first domino. Once we understand that we're all one, it's beautiful what we'll create together, what we'll co-create on the planet for humanity and the earth. He said, so this is extremely important. Thank you so much for coming. He said, however, there are 196 countries represented here at the United Nations, and it would take way too long for us to create a Global Oneness Day. So what I would ask you to do is you, humanities team, you create a Global Oneness Day because it's important, right? So we said, boy, that's a new one. We met as a global council, and we said, okay, yes, we'll do that. We'll create a Global Oneness Day. And we created it on United Nations Day, which is October 24th, in honor of the request that had come from the UN to create the day in the first place. And so we celebrated our first Global Oneness Day on October 24th of that year, 2010. We had a telephone line that could only hold 1,000 people. Wow. And so we had a bunch of us on the call, and we did an hour-long program, which was really very moving. But then every year thereafter, and we celebrated our 9th year last year, 2018, we've grown it to where we had well over 100,000 participating last year, and our 10th year is this year, 2019. So we've got a lot of really exciting things we'll do, and it's all of the speakers that come what's called pro bono, which means they're not paid. They volunteer their time to come in and talk about oneness. And so you have people like Ken Wilber from philosophy, and you have the scientists of Greg Braden and Nassim Harriman and Bruce Lipton and Lynn McTaggart and all of that. And then you have the spiritual leaders like Deepak Chopra and Neil Donald Walsh and Matthew Fox and Joan Borisenko. And so, and many that volunteer their time. They come to the day to talk about what oneness is, and they using their own heart language and their own vision for what it is. But what's interesting is, essentially, they are all, even the scientists, they're all saying the very same thing. We're all one. Yes. Everything is interrelated, interconnected, and interdependent. We are all an emanation of the divine. That separation is a fiction. There's no separation. Even right now, you and I, Elizabeth, there's no separation. We can actually feel into each other. Viewers, the same thing. There's no separation. You could feel into my energy. I can't see you, but we can feel into each other's energy. And for all of humanity and all of life, it works that way.
That is so beautiful. I don't remember where it was, that you say that we will see the sacred and divine in each person. We will treat each person with love and dignity and respect, because we will see the face of Goddess and God. And this is so, and continue, but this is so beautiful, because it's a beautiful declaration of what we are, yeah?
Yes, it is. It is beautiful, and it's all true. It's true. And in fact, separation always creates suffering. So that's one, you might even write that down. Separation creates suffering, and separation is a fiction. That's the thing, is we're not, with Global Oneness Day, we're not creating oneness. Oneness already is. It's this timeless truth, this ancient truth that goes all the way back to early biblical times, and the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads and all these ancient sacred texts, they all said that we're all one, so, but unfortunately, it's a great truth that was kind of pushed in the closet of, it's not something we need to pay attention to, but it's ultimate reality. We do need to pay attention to it. And when we live our lives from a place of separation, even with our wife or our kids and our coworkers, in separation, we're not, we're distant, we're kind of distancing ourselves. So we're not really, we're not there in love and in nurturing and in the way that we can be there. When we feel the connection, with connection, you know, where it's a part of you. So the golden rule is now do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because they're part of you, right? Yeah. There's a very different golden rule. So, and we feel, we treat people different. You know, there's a whole new respect. There's a whole new compassion. There's a whole new love. And so, which heals the suffering, which is separation. So it's important, really. And people say, why? You know, oh, that's an abstract thing. We're all one. How can I apply that? Well, it's really not abstract at all. It's very tangible, very practical. And when we live our lives in this place of deep connection with the divine and each other, we're nurturing, you know, we're in service. And of course, we're taking good care of ourselves too. Many people that call themselves light workers sometimes don't take great care of themselves, and that's a mistake. So we've got to include ourselves, you know, in this respect for each other. But where we do that, we take good care of ourselves, we're nurturing with others. That's how we create this so-called heaven on earth.